Red Bull Wololo legacy continues, and in this set we've got Leenock playing on the west side of the map in yellow as the French, and his opponent will be Wham playing in blue as the Rus. The map being Basin has a very open center with the sacred sites in the middle of the map as well, and a sacred site close to each person's base, which does offer some potential in the Castle Age to capture and get that sacred site gold, but that's a long way off. Will we even get there, as we do see two scouts from the Rus capturing and getting some of that bounty? Two wolves already under the belt for the Rus, and Wham maybe looking to get an early wheelbarrow as the Rus, which is a little bit more challenging in the recent patch because of course now the Rus don't actually get bounty and gold from the sheep. But the French versus the Rus, an interesting matchup. Both civilizations can be very aggressive in the feudal age should they wish to, both having access to the knights in the feudal age. As we do see wheelbarrow coming in now for Wham. He's going to commit to that, and hopefully we'll be able to get that gold he needs for that age up. He will need 200 in total, still has 92 in the bank, but because of the hunting cabin in a decent spot, getting 16 gold per minute should be able to manage it, especially if he's getting wolves. He's going to get another wolf here on the west side of the map. And Leenock will be going up to the next stage very shortly, most likely with a school of cavalry. I'm sure of that. Often is the landmark of choice for the French, for obvious reasons, because the Chamber of Commerce is just not so viable in 1v1 games. Although with the market in the corner, it could be possible, but it's just a bit far-fetched to do in a tournament game like this. And there it is. There's that school of cavalry. It's going to be using 3 villagers to build that landmark. As we see another wolf in the north being taken by Wham for that bounty, and that will help towards the gold he needs to age up. Is edging towards that position with the food, is struggling a little bit with the gold, needs 50 more gold, but actually should be able to do that 200 gold as soon as the hunting cabin generates the extra 16 gold per minute. Early wheelbarrow really going to be boosting that economy. There's another wolf there, so that will take him over to that 200 mark, and he'll be able to place the landmark very soon. I'm sure going up with the Golden Gate is the done thing with the Rus. A bit further behind his French counterpart, his French opponent today, to that next stage, but that's understandable. He has got wheelbarrow, so the economy is going to be a little bit better. Going to be getting a mill here, Leenock, and getting that wheelbarrow now, I suspect. Once he can afford it, doesn't have the gold just yet. We need a couple more drop-offs, and then that wheelbarrow will be coming in. Going up with the Golden Gate with 5 villagers, so we'll be able to catch up a little bit with the building speed. Does mean a couple of villagers are spent building rather than gathering resources for the Rus there. Now, 2 town centre play for the Rus is a little bit more challenging since the recent update, because now town centres actually cost 350 stone, and because of that, they can no longer just trade in 2 tickets from the Golden Gate. Each ticket gets you 150 of a resource you may need, and he will actually have 3 because of that extra 50 stone that's needed. Either that, or he will be able to, may have to mine an extra 50 stone if he so wishes to go for that second town centre without using an extra ticket. But of course, that means that the second town centre expansion for the Rus is no longer hidden, but there's no indication of that second town centre type of build. We shall see though, because he is going for Wooden Fortress back at home, going to be boosting that wood income. And we may see Leenock transition on stone if he decides to go for 2 town centres himself, but focusing on that wood so far, maybe looking to get an archery range on the back of this. We'll see what he decides to do with his villagers as he now reaches the feudal age. Pulls 1 villager off of gold, so it suggests that actually he's going to go for more of a macro approach rather than too many early knights. He's going to go for 1. He's got 1 queued up. I take that back. He's dropping the archery range down. He's getting wheelbarrow. So looking to be aggressive in the feudal age here, Leenock. Wants to apply the pressure. It's going to be a barracks coming out for the Rus, looking to protect his economy from the French Royal Knights. Wham is certainly collecting a lot of wood, which does suggest maybe a second town centre, maybe waiting for those 3 golden tickets. Has 1 so far. Certainly has plenty of wood stacking up here. See the scout coming home with some sheep. Now where is that French Royal Knight? We'll have to keep an eye on that scout on the west side for Wham. Couple of archers popping out as well. That'll take care of any spears that might be coming. There's the knight just hovering around, keeping an eye on the stone pile there. hovering around with a scout in behind, giving that extra vision for Leenock. We're looking to dive in on the wood line, but there is a wooden fortress. There's not much that you can hit. It can be a little bit frustrating facing up against the Rus, not being able to hit them early because of the static defenses in the form of the wooden fortress that they often go for. Going to be a stable going down as well, so some horsemen and spearmen on the menu for the Rus. Leenock investing in a bit of military, not getting too much value out of it. 6 villagers on that stone mine does signal a second town centre play, as the barracks goes down as well. So one of each production building really here for the French. Going to go for some spearmen of his own to counteract the stable units. The horsemen popping out for Wham. Has a good number of spearmen there protecting that wood line. Has a wooden fortress there as well, so probably feeling quite safe here. Scout needs to be coming back to the town centre. Leenock heading towards the north, just to see if we get any value there, but not really too much to be had. Not at this stage anyway. Producing some spears. Things have quietened down so far, that's for sure. 8 minutes almost, 7.5 approaching on the in-game timer. Bit of an engagement here with the spearmen and the horsemen. Horseman does back off there. There's the second town centre for the French on that deer patch. There we see Wham has actually used 1 ticket from the Golden Gate. He'll need another 2 actually. He's got 1 in the bank already, but not spending it just yet. Oh, looks like he might be mining some stone. Does appear so. Yep, he's waiting for that second golden ticket. He's mined the stone he needs. Going to go for the forward deer as well, so both players kind of mirroring each other at this point. But don't forget the French town centres do work faster. So that accounts for the 2 villages extra that Leenock has. And a nice spot near the berries and a couple of the deer patch. And that wood line for the roost there. Forestry coming in for Leenock. Not an upgrade we often see, but it's an upgrade that Leenock is getting. Now venturing out to the deer patch has Wheelbarrow, of course, himself. Heading forward now with his military. Both players on 10 military apiece. And Wham just made that 11. Switching to another wood line here. And nicely done with the wooden fortress, because that's actually going to influence that lumber camp. So if you're not aware, the wooden fortress actually boosts the amount of wood brought to the lumber camp or town centre by 20%. When it's under the influence, as we can see it is right there. The town centre should go up. Archers might pick apart some of the spearmen. Villagers garrison inside. We'll pick up a couple of the units there for Leenock. We'll need to back off and might lose a spear. He does, but he took a couple of units there for Wham as well. So overall not too terrible. Does lose quite a lot of HP on that retreating archer though. 4 villager lead for the French. That will steadily increase. 2 town centres versus 2 town centres at this point. Relatively slow start for both players. There's that blacksmith. Bloomery will be in play now for the cavalry and the infantry, or the melee infantry rather, for Leenock. Has that knight there. 2 horsemen on the retreat. Archers looking to cut off the retreat, but running into troubles themselves, and actually sandwiched between 2 groups of horsemen. That's a good engagement for Wham, but the knight will get some value, but looks like Wham just wants to try and get rid of those archer numbers, and that will allow his spearmen to chase and pressure on as well. And if the spears get a hit here, that would be a problem for Leenock. Looks like Wham trying to body block here. Gets a couple of hit on the knight. But Leenock able to retreat with that knight back home into safety. Looks like Wham going for more stone, maybe for a 3rd town centre. Wouldn't be surprised to see that if they're both playing the eco approach. We shall see. Now Leenock transitioning some villages onto gold, maybe looking for a castle uptime behind this. Quite a few of them, 8 villages. Could also signal a bit of an increased fuel age pressure. He has certainly committed with the production buildings. Double barracks, double arch range, and the school of cavalry, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a bit of a heavier feudal age pressure here for Leenock, perhaps. We shall see what it decides to do. Certainly Wham producing plenty of units of his own. Double broad axe coming in for Wham, investing in those eco upgrades, expecting to stay in this age a little bit longer, I suspect. Yeah, Leenock certainly investing, spending his food and wood. Couple of units on the southern border. A couple of archers and spearmen on hand, though. Spearmen not really in the right position. Villagers get pushed off gold. Might lose one, though. He will be okay with those gold villagers for now. Villagers head back onto gold, and the archers get a couple of shots off on the retreat for those horsemen. One of them particularly low on HP. Villagers garrison inside the town centre. More HP lost there for Wham as he retreats. Quite a bit of army there on that front town centre, just protecting the area, making sure he's not pushed off those deer. And a third town centre going on the boar there on the north in a very nice spot. 2 wood lines, a berry patch, and that boar, of course. That'll help Wham narrow that villager lead that's slowly building up here. 6 villagers in the lead there for the French. Does mean the food requirements for the Rus will start to increase, and there's the spot. Yeah, Wham has been spotted. Leenock notices that the villagers get dragged away from that town centre momentarily. There are 8 villagers there now, so likely to start taking the boar soon once that town centre is up and running. That food income will be nice for him. He does actually decide to start taking the boar. Pulls the weak villagers away. He gets 75 gold for that bounty as well, and a bit of an engagement here. Spearmen on the front line, looking to push those 2 royal knights away, and that has successfully happened. If I take that back, it's just 1 royal knight and a scout. Giving good vision there, that scout for the knights. The knights might charge in on the archers, might be catching these archers out of position actually. You're not going to engage with the spears, and this is a lot of army that's going down for Wham. Army in the wrong positions. They weren't together. Spears go down. Knights, great micro there for Leenock. Takes it out of the position for the spears. And the spears go down, which leaves the knights to pounce on those archers. Retreating archers also get picked apart, and that's a lot of losses there for Wham. That's a problem. They're not getting a really good first engagement here. Horsemen running in. Oh, 2 horsemen picked apart there by Leenock. Micro, definitely on point. And now it looks like Wham transitioning into a double arch range. Looking to get those archers on the field. Needs to be careful. Double ram being produced by Leenock. Leenock certainly doubling down. He senses blood now. He did pick off quite a few military units. As the villager lead, he knows there's 3 town centres being built there by Rus, and he feels like that's the time to now attack, and he's going straight for that 3rd town centre. There is a wooden fortress that will offer some protection, but he wants to take that place out. He doesn't want the board to be taken, understandably so, as Steeled Arrow comes in for Wham. Wham will need a response. He's kind of lacking the army he needs, transitioning and getting some early knights now on the field, but doesn't quite have the numbers he wants. He's only got 2 so far versus the 5 for the French. But I take that back, now 4, because 1 does go down to the town centre. Looks like wooden fortress is going to be focused on first. That'll buy some time for Wham, as a couple of archers do go down. The knight's going to charge in, but there are spearmen on hand in the Starved Forest. The knights pull away, the archers for the French take out the spears, and without the spears there for the Rus, that's a problem. Because those knights will have free reign now on the archers, and I think Wham knows it. He's pulling that army back. He's going to lose that position on the north. Has no option really. Villagers garrison inside, 8 of them, but the rams are going to ram that town centre down as the knight chase away 4 or 5 horsemen in the south. Villagers being picked apart by the knights and the archers chasing after, and that's a big find there for Leenock. He takes out a lot of the economy, takes out the 3rd town centre that has been invested in, and the 8 villagers. And in the north, those villages all go down. Wham has given that position up. He has no option. He's going to have to stay at home and protect the remaining eco that he has left. But a great pick off there by Leenock. Leenock now getting chivalry, looking to heal up those knights. 72 villagers versus 58, and his 2 town centres will just be working faster than the 2 town centres from the Rus. That 3rd town centre was just perhaps a little bit greedy, too far away from his main base. But he did take some bad engagements there, Wham. And now things are really starting to spiral out of control because of it. I feel like the snowball effect is certainly on the way. Wham does have more military on the field in terms of numbers, but certainly the army value is holding well there for Leenock. Going to lose a couple of villagers here on the berries though. Good bit of raiding there for the Rus, and villager idle time caused quite heavily. Leenock chasing with 9 villagers, and Wham will be very happy about that. A lot of idle time caused, and partly because of the micro that's happening here. Do this village get pulled back? Holy smokes, they're really continuing the chase. Town centre garrisons with 7 villagers inside. Going to be looking to try and push away those rams and the archers and the knights. Wham's production is looking good here. 3 rams there though. Villagers now do go back, but there's 2 early knights there for Wham. This could be a way back in for Wham. It's going to cause a lot of eco damage here. Only 2 spears there. They won't be able to fight that off, and lots of villagers here ripe for the picking. farming transition and coming in for the Roos. There is that castle age for Leenock though, and a fantastic time. And trouble is for Roos is that he's really invested in the army and the feudal age, and Leenock just needs to survive until he can get those upgrades. Let's just see what landmark he went for. Was it the Royal Institute? It's not. In fact, it is the Guildhall, which is now toggled onto food, steadily building up those arch numbers, looking to get the veterancy for the knights and also veterancy for the archers. Knights and archers that play here for the French. It's going to catch out this horseman and scout. Knights charge in. We're taking down those two units quite nicely for free, and the walls are coming up now. The fortified palisade walls for the Roos. Looking to buy some time. Needs to try and get up to that next stage, or at least build up a standing army to survive. Early night, looking to try to get some more value. Villagers on gold there quite extensively, 18 of them. But certainly Wham is under pressure here. He's an age behind. He's quite far off that castle age. He's aiming to get there with the food though. 3 rams on the front lines there, just waiting to be active and given commands. Leenock's army is starting to head forward now with the veterancy upgrades, so he's looking to take an engagement. He won't mind so much that he's got the lesser of the numbers of the military, because he does have the tech advantage. The 2 knights do now go down, has been cleared up, pocket economy is established for the French, wooden fortress in the front of their position there, trying to add in more protection, but looks like the rams are coming in just in time for Leenock. We're looking to take that position out, quite a few archers and spears, but will that be enough to deal with the castle age army? These are hardened spearmen and veteran archers with the veteran knights as well. Knights might dive in. We shall see a couple of man-at-arms added into the mix by Leenock. That's a nice play because it'd be difficult for the Roos to defend against man-at-arms. They're very tanky, as you can see, absorbing all that arrow fire. Not enough to even one-shot all these this man-at-arm. He's tanking so much of the fire. Behind this, the archer numbers start to build up. And 3 rams putting pressure on the town centre there. There's the age up going up with the Abbey of the Trinity. That's a concern because this town centre is under fire. That's going to be taken down very soon with the 3 rams. The veteran Royal Knights tanking a lot of the pressure. Spearmen not engaging. They can't really dive in just too quickly because there are veteran archers behind this. That second town centre move going down. That spells trouble for the Roos because now it's just down to 1 town centre. He's facing up against 2 town centre French, and there's the age up. Wham isn't the castle age. That is way back in potentially. He needs the army though. He needs the upgrades. But this might just mean Leenock doubles down even further to be even further aggressive. We shall see. He's looking to take out the production buildings. That's a concern for Wham. Without those production buildings, he won't be able to build the army that he needs to defend this position. There's veteran Royal Knights tanking so much of the archer fire. The archers are just tickling, and it's archers versus veteran archers. That's not a fight that Wham will want to take. He's kind of being forced into it. Spearman charging on the front line, trying to get an engagement on the knights. Hasn't been able to. Leenock with the micro, pulling the knights away from the spears. The veteran archers picking away everything that's left behind. And in the meanwhile, the rams are doing lots of damage to the surrounding structures, whether it be houses or production buildings. The knights do charge in a little bit too early there, but he heads back out. The veteran archers starting to build up in numbers. Problem for Roos and Wham is that whilst he is in the next stage, he is still waiting for his upgrades. The veterancy might be coming in now, but it might be too little too late. Villagers coming forward as well. I'm not entirely sure where they're coming for. Looking to get some wood perhaps, but that's not the position they want to be. They will be going down. Veteran Royal Knights are going down. There aren't that many left, but it looks like they've done the damage they need to. A couple of crossbows popping out from the archery range, but the rams are taking down the houses, and that's going to be a problem because it means more wood investment for the Roos needed to replace that. It's got plenty of population space so far because it's just lost so many. Now it's still veteran archers versus veteran archers at this point, but it does look like the blacksmith upgrades are in favour of the French, so these archers will trade well here for Leenock, and he knows it. 3 rams focusing on the buildings here. Going to be taking down this archery range as well potentially. That's a concern because 2 more knights are heading towards the north. Wooden fortress and woodline has been transitioned and moved onto the north part of that base, but the military numbers looking underwhelming here for Wham. Only 6 of them, and they're coming out from production buildings that are under fire now, and this is a problem. Feels like this could be a GG any moment now. Leenock dominant in game number 1. He's pushing ahead with the French on base in, and could this be the win that Leenock wants to start off his Red Bull Wololo Legacy tournament? It could well be. Spearman heading out there from the barracks, but just doesn't feel like he can mess up enough here, Wham, as the Rams now focus on more of the houses. Next will be the capital town centre. Behind this, Leenock getting plenty of villagers. Look at that, 103 villagers versus 58. So much pressure coming in for the French, and this is the aggravation that the French can cause. And there it is. Wham taps out. He knows his beat in the first game. Leenock takes game number 1. Wham will want a response. Can he make a response in game number 2? Let's find out. Alrighty, here we are. Golden Heights is map number 2. We have got Wham in the north corner of the map playing in blue as the Mongols, and in the south Leenock playing in yellow as the English. Golden Heights, a nice new map for Red Bull Wololo Legacy. We've got this pond on the right side with shorefish and deep water fish. Only 3 tiles of deep water fish, but certainly worthwhile going for if you can challenge for it. 2 players split up by 2 wood lines and this central cliff. As we see the Gur moving forward, scouting, picking up some sheep there for the Mongols. Ovu has been placed, going quite heavy on the wood line there, maybe looking to get a barracks for some outpost rushing. Probably not the best idea against the English, but it has been done before. We shall see what he decides to do. There is a villager there, certainly suggests so. That villager might also go to place a dock. We shall see. Speaking of docks, Leenock is doing it. He's getting 3 villagers out there on the shore there to get that dock up and running. You see the scouting falcon there put down by the Khan, keeping an eye on things, that's for sure. And it's actually going to be a stable opening there for Wham, looking to get those units on the field, try and deny this position. There's going to be an outpost as well, so certainly Leenock looking to try and secure this dock in this fishing economy. Investing 100 wood in the outpost, interesting option. Relying on straggler trees just for now. Needs to be plonking down that lumber camp soon, I suspect. Should be able to get the outpost up without too much more casualties. We see the horsemen heading that way though. This could become a problem for Leenock because he's going to be facing up against early aggression. Does have this area secured though. Villagers going to garrison inside the outpost, no doubt. And in fact, they're just going to fire against the Khan. The garrison inside pushes the Khan away there. Does take some losses there, the Khan. Bit of damage. There's a scouting falcon again, keeping an eye on things. Not entirely sure if any horsemen were produced. A village comes out though for the Mongols, going to be trying to drop a dock. Village is there though for Leenock. He spots it. He's going to try and push that one back. Khan coming in, getting involved. First fishing ship comes out for the English. Looks like the Mongols are focusing on the sheep there for now. He's looking to try and get some position here though. Maybe looking to get a dock now. Going for the shorefish for now. This villager doesn't want to waste the trip. Heading further north, but Leenock, he's going to send those villagers north, trying to find that villager. 2 horsemen though. They are early horsemen, going to get some value. Might be looking to take out one of the villagers, focusing on the high health one. The 2 villagers do garrison inside the outpost, pushes the horsemen away. Looks like Wham is going to look to try and get that dock now, protected by the 2 horsemen. Got double production from that Ovu. 2 more horsemen going to be popping out. Villagers can't garrison, well, they can't ungarrison really. Loses one, leaves one behind. It looks like Wham is going to look to contest this now. Looking in a good position too. That dock will go up soon. Got a decent amount of food in the bank. Has of course been relying on sheep, as 2 more sheep do come back to the town centre, brought home by the Khan, who's a little bit low on health, has been worse for wear on this travel. 25 HP left and remaining. Horseman heading there south for Wham. I'm not sure if that was a misclick, but it's not ideal. Getting some arrows on the retreat, as the villager does actually start to get some shorefish there. Villager coming out to build a barracks here for Leenock, looking to put more pressure. That will keep him in the Dark Age for a bit longer though. You'll need that food to get to the those spearmen out. It does take some time for the fishing economy to kick in. Horseman heading there. There's only just 1 villager in that outpost. Going to be looking to take down the other villager that's there. That's just a scout that's in the outpost. Villager does garrison inside. 4 horsemen there, looking to try and torch down the outpost. Won't deal with that well. Needs to retreat, bring those horsemen away. Going to try and deny the barracks though. Nice job there to keep that checked up. He does lose his Khan though in the meantime. Villager trying to build up that barracks, and he does get torch damage on it a little bit. He's going to block out the villager. That is a problem now because that barracks might need to be cancelled. Right, Wham is actually just going to try and take down this outpost. Has got 1 scout garrison aside, but in any case, Leenock does cancel that barracks. He knows he's not going to get it. Deerstone's going to be built with 6 villagers for the Mongols. That'll get him up to the feudal age and also maybe help him win that water. That could become a problem for Leenock. He was looking to invest in spearmen, but He wasn't quite able to. Now he's going to maybe possibly lose this position. Only one scout garrison inside. And does still have 3 horsemen there, Wham. About to lose another. Oh no, the outpost is not focusing on the weak horsemen. That's a big, big mistake. Because of that, he might lose this outpost. Most likely will. That's unfortunate. Outpost is on fire. Wham notices that. He realizes it. Keeps that 3rd horseman alive now. Intelligent play by Wham. Noticing that. And behind this, Leenock getting another barracks though. Back at home. Getting some man-at-arms. But you just feel like this is too little too late. Because Wham's going to get to the feud age soon. More horsemen coming out. And those could become... well, these are early horsemen for now. But they will be becoming fully fledged horsemen in the feudal age. He's going to start torching down that dock. And if this food economy is idle, that's an issue for Leenock. Man-at-arms taking their time to make a way across the map. Take some time. Villager coming out as well, possibly for repairs. Scout there, being pressurized by the horsemen, trying to take down the villager. There's that feudal age. You're not gonna just drop off the food he can to try and get to the next stage himself. Most likely will go up with the council hall. That is indeed the case, going with 5 villagers, but torch damage continues to come out from those horsemen that are now being upgraded by the Mongols. Man-at-arms clears up that unit and will be taking out that villager, possibly. Yep, shouldn't be able to get away here, that villager. Trying to run to the defense and safety of the horsemen. Now the fishing ship, oh, it's a light junk actually, of course, is in the feudal age here. Mongols going to engage with the light junk and the horsemen. Going to try and trap in those man-at-arms. A couple of spearmen would certainly be helpful here for Leenock, but he went for man-at-arms instead, and that delayed his feudal age quite significantly. 7 minutes on the clock, and does look like now Wham is going to be able to push this fishing economy off a little bit. Another light junk comes out. And he certainly will want to do some damage, and he's going to get that damage. Leenock going to try and keep the fishing ships alive for as long as possible, but get the feeling they're not going to live for too much longer. There's the council hall. He's rushing it up now. 15 villagers. That is not very efficient, but he feels like he doesn't have any other option, as the light junks are now starting to mass up. 3 of them rather. He'll be taking out the fishing economy. That's a lot of resources going down the drain there for Leenock. A lot of investment. Light junk coming in the south. They could see if he can get... oh yeah, okay, interesting. He's going to look to try and deny this dock. Well, the villager at least. The dock can't be denied. The dock is up. There's 2 docks on this pond. Leenock does have a window of opportunity here. Does take out the fishing economy, but Wham needs to deal with these 2 docks. Question is whether Leenock will be able to produce from both docks or not. He already is. He has started to. Getting some galleys out now. 2 junks, and in fact it's a hulk. It's actually a hulk. There is a demo ship there for Wham, so good call there. That was a nice play, using the rock, paper, scissors. He knows that the most likely thing to pop out will be a hulk to try and counter the archer ship, so he went into a demo ship himself. Good to take down this dock and might possibly do it. Also torching down this dock in the south. Still 2 fishing ships, but 1 hulk versus 2 junks and a demo ship on the way. This could become a problem for Leenock. He's going to lose that dock on the northern aspect of things. Demo ship pulls away in time there for Wham. Doesn't want to waste it. He's going to head that position now. Maybe looking to take out the Springle ship, but will the archer ship notice? It does. He's going to take it out. 2 shots it. And that dock does go down now with a couple of horsemen there. They're going to be torching down that dock. This could be a nice position now for Wham to put on some pressure. Bringing the fishing ships there to heal up his units. Doesn't want to lose that light junk if he can help it. We'll be taking down that galley if he can. Galley focusing on the horsemen. Spearman coming out for Leenock. That's what he needs. Does lose that galley though. That's a bit expensive. 2 Springle ships on the waters there. Insufficient wood for Wham. Struggling to keep that alive and repaired. Light junk. He's going to take out this hulk as well after the demo ship. That's a problem for Leenock. That dock is on fire. No repairing villagers, and that's a concern. Still 200 HP. There's no villager in sight though. He needs one desperately to get over there. And this is a concern because now this hulk will go down to the 2 archer ships, or possibly not actually. It has repairs coming in. Spearman going to push away the horseman, but Wham getting good value here. Still on fire. This dock does get another hulk out just before it burns to the ground. Villagers on berries there for the Mongols. The new Khan rises. Things looking good. Double broadaxe coming in for the English. Wants to boost up that wood economy. Trouble is, he's lost quite of infrastructure here. We'll be losing this dock as well. get the feeling that's going to be difficult to win this water back because he doesn't have an active dock. There is a demo ship. Will he get the demo ship across and the fighting? Gonna go for that Hulk. Gets good maximum value for that. Hulk is not going to head back to the dock in time to repair, and that's the problem because now there is still one light junk. That light junk should handle this. This means that the water is going to be won by Wham, and that gives them an opportunity to scale up his economy. As we see a blacksmith coming out for the English, they could get some upgrades. But for what units? That's the question. Doesn't have any on the field. Looks like Wham heading towards that castle age. And boy oh boy, he's so close to getting there. Plenty of villagers on the gold. It's going to get the food income from the fishing ships. 5 of them. Great investment. Demo ship coming in there. Detonating on the palisade walls. And he has got full water control now, it seems. Farming transition coming in for Leenock. That is less than ideal. He will want to be looking to get to the castle age himself, but just doesn't have the economy to sustain that. And looks like Wham will be going up to the castle age now, going up with the step redoubt. 12 villagers building it, and that spells trouble because castle age units will be on the way there for the Mongols. Horseman lost there on the gold vein. They're still applying some pressure. Short bows coming out, looking to try and do some damage on the horsemen. 2 horsemen do run away, but it's causing idle time. Forestry coming in for Leenock. He certainly likes that upgrade. He got it in the first game as well. Outpost coming up on the deer patch here, offering some protection for those food villagers. He wants to just consolidate his position here, Wham, and he might have another way back into the set. Because of course he did lose the first game, but if he wins this second game, it will put it down to a decider in this best of 3 as the 2 horsemen do go onto that gold vein, trying to push those villagers off, but won't manage it. 2 spears engage, and that's a bad fight for Wham. We'll lose those 2 horsemen rather cheaply, but that castle age does come in now, and barracks is being put down. Looks like man-at-arms might be on the menu here from the Mongols, and that'll be difficult for the English to deal with. Yep, double barracks. It will be man-at-arms play. Looks like Leenock senses the danger. He's going to build the palisade walls on the west side. It will go up in time, but he's going to be under pressure soon. He's going to build up walls on the east side as well. Quite extensive. Going to be a lot of wood investment, but he needs to get that static defense up, and he needs it fast. And behind this, Wham is freely fishing. As you can see, the economy, the worker count 50 to 38. Heavily in the favour of Wham. Leenock now investing in wheelbarrow. Double broadaxe going to be coming in for Wham soon. Walls do go up. Looks like outpost going up in that position. We'll get good vision and keep the English pegged down at home. That's a real concern there. The English do have the ability to transition to farms quite nicely. They are cheaper after all, and they are a decent source of food for the English. Quite efficient. But will it be enough? Getting an outpost in this position as well. Looks like Leenock really needs to defend it well. It is one of the best civilizations to defend here with the English. Gate will go up with the 2 villagers there. Man, I'm just going to start torching that down. Doesn't get the first torch volley off though. There is the outpost. Short bow's going to be firing off a little bit, but just tickling the man-at-arms really. A new Khan rises again, and looks like Leenock trying to head towards that castle age. But in the meantime, this does give a bit of a lead time for Wham to potentially think about getting some relics as a market to rebalance the economy should he wish to. Going for another Ovu. No prayer tent just yet. Doesn't have the wood to place one. It's investing a lot into man-at-arms. It's going to put some pressure here, you feel, in the castle age. Has a lancer here on the west side as well. Leenock is fully walled, but those palisades aren't the strongest static defenses in the world, of course. And it looks like Wham just building up his army numbers here. He must know he's ahead, and could do with that moving this guy closer to the wood line. Suspect he will soon. Does have a blacksmith getting iron, well, he's getting the second armor upgrade. He's getting the first one, iron undermesh. Takes an engagement here. Spear's going to engage. I'm not sure that's a good place for Leenock to be. Can't really fight this off. Looks like the palisades is going to be breached. Doesn't have arrow slits in the outpost. Not that that will do too much anyway, especially with iron undermesh coming in. King's Palace is the landmark of choice to get up to the castle age for Leenock. Trouble is if he starts trying to produce some 2 town centres, that'll be food income spent on villagers rather than military, and that's what he kind of needs at this point. He needs a way to defend this position. Losing spearmen. A lancer does break through. There are 2 lancers there. I'm not sure how they got through. It looks like it was a chop through. Possibly, I'm not sure actually. Almost looks like there was a villager chopping through. Spearmen do engage on the lancers. The lancers will go down. But yep, there's a chop through there. And also going to be keeping the villagers on farms a bit idle there. All good work there for the Mongols. There's a couple more man-at-arms do come in through the northeast now. Leenock under pressure, immense pressure. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold on to this. Does have villagers garrisoning inside the town centre, but that just means more villager idle time. Still in the feudal age, about to get to the castle age himself with that landmark, but he taps out. He knows his beat, and wham, pulls one game back as we head into game number 3. Welcome to game number 3, and we are on the classic dry Arabia with Leenock in the north playing in yellow as the Delhi Sultanate, and in the south, wham, playing in blue as the Ottomans, going for an instant military school, looking to get those spearmen out and about onto the map as soon as possible. And the Ottomans, of course, one of the new civilizations for Age of Empires 4. We're certainly learning a lot about them, and this instant military school build looks to be very exciting. I do have that build order on the channel actually for the Ottomans, so if it's something you're interested in doing, if you're interested in playing the Ottomans, I've got plenty of build orders, whether it be instant military school into Fast Castle, into Feudal Rush, into 2 town centers, you name it, I've got it. Check it out. It certainly might be helpful for you. And we've got Leenock playing the Delhi Sultanate, one of the original civilizations released on the Age of Empires 4, well, when it was released back in November. One of the civilizations that really benefits from having access to berries and the faster berry pickers, as he does now start to get 2 villages on gold, maybe looking to get that next stage relatively soon. Getting efficient production researched from the mosque. We may see a bit of a feudal age aggression here for the Delhi Sultanate. Now, the thing is for the Ottomans is going for that instant military school. I'm not sure how viable it is against the Delhi Sultanate and how aggressive the Delhi can be in the feudal age. Because whilst the military school does produce free units, they do take a long time to train, and it's a bit of an investment. It does also mean the Ottomans have a bit of a delayed uptime. Thus send 3 villagers to gold now. We'll be looking to get a competitive uptime, but as you can see, the Delhi Sultanate will certainly get to the feudal age first, and well, it does mean that the Ottomans will need to get some value and damage. But the trouble is that this map spawn is absolutely fantastic for Leenock. It's got berries at the back and gold at the back. Everything nicely tucked away and protected, woodline close to the town centre. And by the time the spears get around the back here, they're not going to be able to do all that much damage, or at least when they do get there, you know, Leenock will be comfortably on the way to the feudal age, if not already there, as he starts to build the Dome of the Faith with 4 villagers off of the berries. You know, it's a different story if the gold vein is at the front. If gold vein was here potentially, then the spearmen would be there by now. Almost anyway. Twin Minaret Madrasa is the landmark of choice, going up with 5 villagers, so we'll be able to catch up on the building time. Acts as a mill, a nice landmark, gives you effectively infinite food, but obviously it's limited. Each berry bush is regrown after 120 seconds if it's depleted, but the really good thing is that the berry bushes are harvested 50% faster, so super speed in that food income. As the spears are now just heading that way, 3.5 minutes on the clock, and you're not really feeling too glad about that if you're wham, not able to put any pressure just yet, and he's going to try and do some now. The good thing is that if he pushes the villagers off of gold, that will reduce the ability for scholars to be produced from the Dome of the Faith eventually. But, you know, one spear does able to push those villagers off. Villagers deposit the gold they were carrying, and he's going to go to the woodline now and probably invest in some archers. You expect an archer range to come up, and I would expect maybe a stable to go down for the Ottomans, or at least the military school to be toggled into Sipahi training once he does get to the next edge. And actually, Twin Minaret Madrasa is going to be built faster, just purely because he had, had 5 villages versus 4. It might not be faster, actually. No, I take that back. Dome of the Faith is almost done. But he's not too far behind here, the Ottomans. Overall, not too terrible. But the difference is, the big difference is that, well, Leenock is going to produce a production building instantly, reaching the next stage. And the Ottomans need to wait a little bit. He'll be there soon, because the production buildings are a little bit cheaper now for the Ottomans compared to the other civilizations. And in fact, it looks like Wham is opting for a second town centre. He's got 6 villagers on stone, unless he's going to go for a secondary military school, but 6 villagers seems a bit much just for a second military school. Not sure how I feel about that, because, you know, typically the Delhi Sultanate can be aggressive in the feudal age, look to get those sacred sites, going for second town centre, or could offer Leenock the ability to get those sacred sites. Gives up a little bit of map control if Leenock does decide to just concentrate on army. Does appear to be the case. Has an archery range down already. Archer going to be trying to take down that spearman. Spearman trying to get some value, but villagers on gold going to stay mining. They're not too worried. They're backed up by the archers, and there's a blacksmith going in nice and early. That is rather early there for Wham. Go for the blacksmith. What this does is it increases the production speed of military production buildings around it. Go for a secondary military school, maybe a second town centre behind that as well. And military school will give him 3 units able to actually try and defend himself, and that is the case that he did change it to Sipahi after getting to the feudal age. Blacksmith coming down for Leenock himself. Looking to get some upgrades. Double blacksmith, obviously 3 upgrades for the Delhi Sultanate now. I have to say that the overlay is actually bugged here at the moment, so whilst he is getting these upgrades for free, they don't actually show up at the top left, I'm afraid. It's just the situation is with the overlay. It's in beta testing at the moment. Just with a few upgrades that would change in the future. So, and also, as you can see there, special thank you there on the overlay for everyone who's supporting the channel. Very much appreciated. And there is the big gong there for Wham, signifying that he has the ability to spend Vizier points, more sheep. Anatolian Hills is what he decided to get. Barracks and stable being placed here for the Delhi Sultanate, 1 of each production building. So it looks like Leenock is going to double down, go aggressive in the feudal age himself. And do we see that second town centre being placed just yet? Nope. Villagers have moved away though. Where would he place that town centre? Probably near some deer patches, maybe. We shall see. Time will tell. Villagers coming down the south. Scout is on hand there for Leenock. Leenock's keeping an eye. He's up to no good, he thinks. Keeping an eye on where those villagers go. Maybe down towards the berries there in the south. It's actually going to be on the wood line, but does offer protection to the berries. And Sipahi going to be trying to take down some of those archers, but enough of archers to push that away. And Leenock might be quite happy about that, seeing a second town centre going down. He'd be thinking to himself, well, maybe I can just double down in their feudal age, look to get some sacred sites. Sanctity just about to be researched, which allows the Delhi Sultanate to capture the sacred sites in the feudal age. That really boosts the gold income. 150 gold per sacred site they capture the Delhi. Get the 50% bonus. More Sipahi do come out. Archery range going down as well for the Ottomans. A double archery range, so certainly Wham is looking to contest in the feudal age. He's not looking to give this up. Looks like Leenock got survival techniques as well. Well, it is free, isn't it? So that's certainly helpful for the Delhi. See, large amounts of palisades coming out. And this is not a bad option. He actually protects 2 berry bushes and a huge wood line. That's actually a nice set of walls there for Leenock. So by pushing the villagers off of gold, temporarily at least. No wheelbarrow just yet for the Ottomans. Can't afford it in terms of gold income. Only has 1 village on gold, as it happens. Steeled arrow comes in for Leenock, for free of course, and Leenock will want to deal with this, does have a spearman there now. We don't see any scholars coming out to the sacred sites. 1 spear on that west sacred site, a Sipahi in the central one, and a Sipahi on the right one as well, so he's got it well covered. Looks like Leenock will need to invest in military to try and push those positions first. And 2 scholars heading out now though with a spearman there. We shall see how much value he gets out of this. Spearman and a scholar going on the west side as well. Needs to be careful. Doesn't have the area scouted clearly, but spearman heading towards that central sacred site will take a good engagement against the Sipahi. Sipahi heads through and takes a good few hits. Wham does react, but does lose a lot of HP. Also a horseman there. Looks like the sacred site will be taken there. Also with 2 scholars there means that if any units do get hurt, as you can see, just being healed up there nicely. Spearman on spearman, Leenock will certainly win that, and with the palisade walls there now, it enables him to really start to expand his economy here on the east side. And it focuses any sort of potential attack from the Ottomans on the left. Quite a few archers though. He trying to snipe out that scholar, doesn't quite manage. The scholar making a run for it, but looks like his escape will be cut off. There are Sipahi. Takes out 1 of the archers, I think that was. And the scholar does get taken out on the center sacred site, and on the east, being pressured by the Sipahi on the west. Might be able to capture the west, but we shall see if the Sipahi or archers head that direction. Leenock might look to take an engagement here, a couple of archers. And a spearman or 2 as well, but Wham not looking to take the fight. He's holding off, and looks like he's going to take down one of the scholars. That's a good pick there for the Ottomans as he starts to wall up on the east side. Does have 2 town centers, don't forget, so we'll be looking strong on the economy side of things. Picking off a spearman there for free. Wow, I'm looking strong. 10 minutes on Dry Arabia so far. Things heating up. Don't forget, this is the 3rd game of the set, so be a good start for whoever wins this, that's for sure. Not the be-all and end-all. Whoever loses this match will have a second chance to qualify for the quarterfinals in Red Bull Wololo Legacy. There's a good number of archers there. We'll be able to take out that horseman. Leenock tried to retreat, but it wasn't able to in the meantime. A couple more reinforcements in the stealth forest. Going to engage now with more horseman numbers. Does get a good engagement, but with good micro here, Wham will get some value out of this. Does neutralize that sacred site on the west side. We'll lose an archer though. This is a good engagement for Leenock, but he's going to be running into the reinforcements, and this will be more than enough for Wham. There is a mech there as well, increasing the attack speed by 15%. Horsemen and Sipahi coming up for the Ottomans, and good numbers of military here. Leenock's other part of the army was kind of divided there, wasn't able to really take a meaningful engagement. Does collect that, or cap that central sacred site. We'll be getting that gold trickle in now, which is quite nice for the Delhi Sultanate. Plenty of food in the bank, a bit of an engagement maybe threatened here. Archer's good hit there for Wham. Archer's a bit out of position. The horsemen go through to the Leenock. He's trying to take an engagement. The horsemen do pounce on the archer. Spearman for Leenock going to engage against the Sipahi. Good amounts of damage, and the archers in the background for the Delhi picking off some units. The meta still alive and kicking. Good micro there for Wham to keep that behind and safe. The Spearman doing well for Leenock, but no use for them now. There aren't that many Sipahi. It's mostly archers there for both players. Sipahi heading forward, going to take a charge attack against the archers. Spearman heading that direction. Then the Sipahi will go down for the Ottomans. There's a scholar in behind as well. That scholar will do some good work healing up. But now it does look like Leenock going to snowball from here. The archer numbers not in decent numbers here, not enough for Wham at least. Mehter having to go back. The army certainly looking strong here for Leenock. 32 versus 24, and Leenock definitely got the better engagement. He is behind on economy though, so there is an opportunity for Wham to really start building up the units up if he wants to. But he needs to translate that economy into army if he wishes to do that and pile on some more pressure. Does have a decent amount of army building up again. Good early engagement on Dry Arabia in this 3rd game, the decided game of the set, and we shall see how this pans out. West side sacred site has been decapped. That Sipahi will be taken down by the horseman though. Yeah, the horseman a bit faster than the Sipahi. Sipahi can't make a run for it. Still has control of the central sacred site though there. Leenock will be happy about that. Continuous gold trickle coming in because of that. Looks like he might be aiming for the castle age himself. Getting almost 600 gold. Lacking the food a little bit. Does have a lot of horsemen queued up though. If he actually unqueues those horsemen, might be able to afford the castle age soon. He's getting some spearmen. Doesn't want to stop producing units, and I don't blame him because he's going to be under pressure here soon. Quite a lot of archers there. Spearmen not really helpful. There aren't that many Sipahi. Enough though to be effective against the archers. Spearmen do try and engage. Horsemen engaging on the archers. Archers in behind for the Delhi Sultanate, looking to pick up the pieces. Spears keeping an eye on where those Sipahi are. Sipahi go down, they melt to those spearmen, and that's a concern. They're kind of cheaply lost there for the Ottomans. Well, I'm losing this fight again. Another batch of horsemen heading in from the west, and behind this Leenock is taking up to the castle age. He's looking strong, and army numbers really impressive for Leenock. 45 to 25, and this could be problems for Wham. He's losing this fight, and the trouble for Wham is that his opponent is going up to the castle age behind this. Even with all this early aggression, and now Wham is going to have to be defensive, and he is an age behind. Does have the mech there, but the horsemen are getting good value, and this gives the map control to Leenock. He's going to double down. He's got this west side sacred site. He's got the east as well. This is looking not so great for Wham at the moment. That sacred site timer has been activated, 9 minutes and counting, and this is going to be fantastic gold income for the Delhi. Doesn't have any villages there. Actually has 0 gold per minute for some reason. That's actually not being counting of the gold income. That's only the villager that's been counted there on the overlay. But he is actually getting 450 gold per minute. That's more than 10 villages equivalent on gold. So just pretend that Leenock has an extra 10 villagers. He is behind a couple of villagers because of the 2 town centers for the Ottomans. But the sacred site will be making up for that. And also now going to the castle age does put a bit of pressure on Wham. Makes Wham feel like he needs to take an engagement, but a couple of man-at-arms have now become a problem here. Does have man-at-arms coming out from that barracks. That's equivalent of 2 barracks production. In fact, I take that back. He's got 3 barracks. Holy moly. That's the equivalent of 6 barracks production. He's got scholars garrison inside. Efficient production working wonders here. And he's producing like a madman here, Leenock. Before too long, Wham is going to be under pressure. You're like Delhi Sultanate are in control of this game so far. They can try to pick up some relics as well. That relic will be denied. Archers in the central sacred site picking off maybe a man-at-arm, but look how many shots it takes. It's quite incredible. A very tanky unit, the castle age man-at-arms, and trouble for Wham, he doesn't really have the counter unit he would want, which would be the crossbows. He would have to wait for castle age for that, and he's trying to edge towards that direction. Has got the gold he needs, just needs a bit more food. There is the food. And he's going to go up with the Mehmed Imperial Armory for getting those free siege engines. Maybe a mangonel or 2 could help his position, but the central sacred site is being controlled by Leenock, maybe looking to get a scholar out there to capture that. Has decapped the right sacred site there, the Wham, so getting a little bit of control back into the game, but for how long? Trouble for Wham is that, well, when you age up in Age of Empires 4, that can often be where you're most vulnerable, and in fact, this is actually not great timing for Wham. He's just aged up, he's invested a lot of resources. He kind of had to get up to the next stage, but now Leenock smells blood. He knows his opponent just got up to the next stage. He won't have the upgrades coming in yet, and he wants to take a fight. Leenock will want to take a fight before those upgrades come in, and because the upgrades are going to be taking some time for the Ottomans. Going to be a forward keep drop there for Leenock. He wants to see this game out. He wants to win this best of 3, and that's great timing because he's got map control. That's the big issue. There's not that much that Wham can do to deny this. Really just taking their sweet time to get across there. There they are, they're starting to build, and that's the get out my game keep right across from that twin minaret madrasa. Spearman looking to torch that down. Archers fighting underneath the town centre. He doesn't mind. Only 3 villagers garrisoned inside the town centre. That is huge. The man-at-arms going forward. Archers just tickling the man-at-arms. This is not the counter unit he needs. He needs the crossbows, but he can't afford it at this point. Doesn't have the food income. The villagers underneath the town centre gone. 20 minute madrasa denied. That keep will be going up. Looks like Wham might be heading out in this particular set at least. And looks like Leenock doing great work. He's going to be pulling away a lot of these villagers, Wham, but they go to the death. They can't get through. They're trapped. That is a huge problem for Wham. He doesn't have a way through. Archers picking them apart, and the village count plummeting for Wham. Still ahead in villagers, but not for long, you feel, because those villagers can't get out of there. Defend all sacred sites. Sacred sites have been capped. That's more gold income coming in for Leenock. They're absolutely free. Good gold trickle in, but well, the army is starting to dwindle there for Leenock, but behind that, he's got to keep. That's an issue. How does Wham stop that? A siege workshop and a monastery going there behind that keep, and does have the sacred sites under control. And trouble for Wham is that he needs siege engines. He's got plenty of wood, but not enough gold. He's been cut off gold for now. Well, he's got gold in the back. That'll be enough to deal with the situation if he can get a trebuchet or 2, but the problem is that's a heavy investment. This buys Leenock so much time. Might be looking to get even a second keep. Plenty of villagers on the stone. Holy moly, 11 of them. Has the west side sacred site being captured as well now, so he will start the timer again for sacred site victory. And Wham in a very difficult position. Look at the economy here for Leenock. His economy been untouched for quite a period of time. They also have less villagers, but having 3 sacred sites really helps. There's the counterweight trebuchet. Don't forget as well though, the eco upgrades would have all come in for Leenock by now. And they were for free as well, so strong economy here for Leenock. Despite having less villagers, the trebuchet now unpacks are going to start unfolding those boulders on the twin minaret madrasa. May lose that landmark pretty soon. This is an issue. Wham needs a way out. Does have a trebuchet out of the siege workshop. Has queued up another trebuchet from the Mehmed Imperial Armory, but does take quite a bit of time. 2 minutes almost. That's a significant period of time. Holy smokes. Crossbows are in play. Crossbows will do some work against those man-at-arms, but still struggling to one-shot them. Landmark victory approaching, takes care of that twin minaret madrasa. Another keep going there on the front lines, doubling down in this position. Leenock villagers need to hide it back in the keep. Wasn't able to build that up, but the archers, a lot of them going down underneath the keep. That is a concern. Villagers are repairing that keep. 2 trebuchets still there on the front line there for Leenock. Can't be pushed back really. Looks like Leenock going to invest the stone. Wait, did he lose? Wait a minute. Oh man, I think Leenock lost that keep. He doesn't have the stone. That's kind of strange. I don't know, maybe he just spent all the stone on repairing maybe, but it looks like he might have lost the stone on the keep. Anyway, we missed that situation. The production building is going down here. Loses one military school here, the Ottomans. This is a problem. Lots of villages on wood. The balance of the economy not really there for the Ottomans here. Springwood is out for Leenock, looking to try and take down the trebuchet. Does manage to take one down, still one remaining. There are two Springholes after all. Ooh, takes out a Springhole there for the Ottomans, that's a concern. Only one more Springhole in play there for the Ottomans. Two trebuchets though, focusing on the production buildings. Takes out the second military academy, or school rather. Means less production. Behind the sacred site, victory is still, that time is still ticking. Villagers coming out to try and torch down those Springholds, but that was a lot of idle time. Holy smokes, that's 42 villages he pulled away there. Leenock won't mind that at all, not in the slightest. Two trebuchets still firing away. There is a Springhold on the field for the Ottomans, but just the one. Man-at-arms still starting to build up in numbers there, torching down the houses. Springholds, holy moly. There are 5 of them now. Boiling oil is being researched. 5 Springholds, going to be taking down the Springholds there for the Ottomans. In fact, no, the Ottomans do pull out, but the archers diving in underneath the town centre. So the keep, that's not ideal. He can't really take down those trebuchets. This is a concern. Has to pull away. Trouble is for Wow, he doesn't have many melee units. He needs trebuchets as well. Does have 2 trebuchets out now. Needs to protect those trebs, but there's just so many Springholds, and Wham doesn't have enough Springholds of his own. The Springholds might die, but he might take a trebuchet out for free. He does. Oh no, wasn't 50 HP on that. But Leenock is committing, trying to take down that trebuchet. Trebuchets do pull back. Oh, took a Springhold out though. And yeah, Leenock taking great fights here. This is a concern for Wham. Can't push out really. Stuck in his base. Springholds are going to head back there for Leenock, but behind this, sacred site time is still ticking. Tick tock, tick tock. Lots of food income though for Wham. He just doesn't have the production buildings you feel to produce. That's a big concern. Archers there. But they're going to be facing up against lancers, no meat shield, and man-at-arms as well. Just pure archers and crossbows might not be enough here. Mangonel or 2 for Leenock might just seal the deal, put the nail in the coffin. Leenock doubling down, heading further forward. Woodline is expiring now on the west side for the Ottomans. Where does the Ottomans get more wood from? That's a problem. He's struggling for wood now, Wham. He'll need to move. I might lose a trebuchet. There is a mangonel as well. Man-at-arms getting good value. 50 army to 20. And Leenock just keeping his army alive better. Or at least they are higher value units after all. Look at the army value. 9,200 versus 4,000 approximately. Springwell's going down. Man-at-arms are so tanky. It's difficult for Wham to deal with. Another keep is now being put down with 2 trebuchets in behind. Further infantry coming in behind that veteran spearman. Looks like villagers. Ooh, a couple of janissaries pop out, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough here. Janissaries won't do well against underneath the keep fire. They're going to be going down. Archers in behind. We're doing good work against the spears, but our man-at-arms joining in. Villagers building that keep. The keep should go up. 2 trebuchets looking to take out that capital town centre. And behind that then is the Mehmed Imperial Armory. Running out of time here. The Ottomans is struggling to hold on for now. In game number 3. Military Academy comes in for Leenock. Means the production speed has increased even further. Boiling oil just about to come into that keep, and that town centre, capital town centre goes down. That pushes the Ottomans down to 1 town centre. Does have 96 villagers, but he's struggling to produce the military as the Springholds now engage. Wham gets a free hit or 2. Wham does take out a Springhold. And the villagers are heading out on the right side. He needs to spread out his economy here. Wham, it's very exposed. Does have an outpost, but if Leenock sniffs that out, that can come from 4 minutes and 45 seconds still on the sacred site timer. Mangonel joining the Springholds there. Trouble for Wham is he doesn't have a way of decapping the sacred sites. Holy moly. And Springhold's going to take care of the trebuchet. That's a big loss there for Wham. Mangonel gets off there, takes a lot of damage on those crossbows. There is a trebuchet. Poor Wham is saving grace, trying to take down the keep. Another keep being killed here by Leenock. He is doubling down. The creep continues. The keep creep continues, and looks like Delhi Sultan might be triumphing over the Ottomans here. Wham, trying to find answers. He's playing a long set here. Wants to try and survive if he can. Trebuchet goes down again. Expensive units being lost here. Those Springholds getting so much value. Wham, trying to push these villagers back, but I'm not sure if he is enough. 3 Springholds. And there is a Mangonel taking a big shot potentially. Mangonel staying alive there for Leenock. Leenock playing patiently. Doesn't want to dive too quickly, but Springhold numbers now dwindling for the Ottomans. Get the feeling that Mangonel might return and put more pressure. Mehmed Imperial Armory on its last legs. It's not even being repaired, it's on fire. Looks like it might be a landmark victory and take aside, but before all that, Wham taps out. He knows his beat. Leenock takes the first set and he's played in Red Bull Wololo Legacy. Great start for him. Now, if you guys would want to watch more casted games, more sets from Red Bull Wololo Legacy, do click the right hand cast screen now. Take you to a full playlist of all the casted games that I've done from this tournament. Take care and see you next time.